a micro jump drive, so it's very good for getting surprise tackle behind enemy lines, but I don't think this pretty works too well with that.
Yeah, that could be a pretty sick move if it ran back, repped up, and then MJD'd back into the fight.
I think the only way, if anyone manages... I mean, if anyone manages to use... Sorry.
You right, Starfight?
Yeah, my
You okay,
team
buddy?
speak is just absolutely, I don't know what is going on with my team speak right now. It's just freaking out.
Okay, keep going. It's fine.
I think Windows 10 is. I've been having Windows 10. My God. Anyway, I was saying I think with the Hurricane, if anyone manages to pull this off, and it would be a very massive surprise if they manage to jump onto the Logi. I think that jump onto Logi, scram it down. But as you said, it's a massive risk move. But if you can do it, if you can put it off, get the Logi down, even like you just said in the match, pull back, rep up, and jump onto it. When he thinks he's safe, away from everything, that could be a game changer right there.
Yeah, it's just probably worth noting that the Tech 1 Logi have pretty bad caps, so they often turn off the MWDs in this match, so jumping onto them isn't as difficult as it could be against Tech 2 Logi.
Okay, any last thoughts on that previous match before we move on to the next one? I guess not. We now have Team Clever Girls versus Team Dank Memes from Test. It is Horde versus Test. Both fantastic newbie corporations in EVE Online going against each other in some amazing tournament combat. We're going to have the fantastic Ehud and Hoodie Mafia duo commentating. Guys, tell us a little bit about these two teams and how they've done so far today.
Definitely very good teams to see fighting against each other. We have Horde versus Dank Memes, which is Test. Horde versus Test, this is going to be so fun to watch. And some good setups here. We have the Typhoon Harbinger exec again, but this time with the tower. And that tower does not have any tackle mods, so that'll be an interesting thing to watch. But Clever Girls coming in with the Oracle Abaddon executor Coercer. A lot of lasers there, and we know we love lasers, so it'll be really fun to see how this pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these two teams are well aligned for each other as well, and I think we're going to see an absolutely great match. It's a matchup that we've actually seen before, like a slight deviation on the tackle that you see here. I think the tall ward that you pointed out, not having any tackle there, is an interesting factor. They're choosing to go for the bit of range DPS on the entire team. We'll see how that works out for them.
Well, let's get into the match and see how they fare against each other. This is the penultimate match of the first day of EVE Fight Club. Here we go.
Alright, welcome to match 9 of EVE Fight Club, and we have Team Clever Girls with the laser setup, Oracle Abaddon Coercer bringing the lasers with a Rifter for tackle, and of course the completely necessary Executor as we've seen it dominate the field today. Who do we have on the red team there, Hoodie?
For the red team, we have the Typhoon Harbinger setup that has been dominant throughout the evening. Of course, with the Executor, in this case with the Talwar and Maulus to back them up for Ewar.
It's interesting to see the warp-ins, actually. The Abaddon here is at 0 on the arena, and I think what they're going for is to get him in, get that tank on top of the enemy team, but with the angles, he's actually further away than he'd like to be from the enemy team, which is warped in altogether, ready to kite, and so I think that may be a disadvantage for this laser team as the match gets going.
Yeah, the match has started, and we're seeing if these teams actually burn into each other or if they're going to kite.
And that looks like going in for tackle, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. The Coercer is already taking a lot of damage. He seems to be pulling back, and he is receiving reps right now, so he should be fine as long as he moves back. Oh. Deep chunks going into deep armor. He is holding for now. Will he live? Structure. Seems to be taking an absolutely ton of damage from the Harbinger.
Reps landing.
Yeah. He burned all the way back.
Yeah, they're splitting to the Rifter now, as the Maulus is starting to take damage.
Maulus currently not being tackled, moving quite quickly to the backfield, so should be able to receive reps and isn't going to be taking a lot of damage. at that point. Yeah, and he is now safely in the backfield, so damage still being traded back and forth. Rifter now taking an absolute ton of damage.
You know, he's all alone out there without Logi's support, and I think that that's really going to be a difficult thing for him to hold.
Yeah, he seems to be at least 60 kilometers or so away from his logistics at this point, which means he's receiving reps in deep fall-off. Yeah, and there we go. Absolutely not enough to tank him at that point. That was a bit too overeager, maybe.
And we saw the EC drones coming out from his teammates. You might think that Retbots there would have been a better use for that Rifter.
Yeah, perhaps, but in either case, he probably shouldn't have gone that far, or at least should have moved the Executor when they did that, and he just died out of rep range. There was absolutely no way they could have saved him there. So good for going in for the tackle, but just not enough.
And it's really hard to be a Logi pilot in these setups where you have to watch all these things. You don't have a lot of experience with only a single Logi, so that's a really challenging job to kite, mitigate damage, don't get tackled, and keep your guys alive.
But it is working fine at the moment for the Logi pilot on test. He's getting shot very, very hard by this Abaddon, but he's not receiving enough damage because mainly this Rifter is dead and there's just no application right now.
Yeah, if they can't get tackle, they're going to have a really hard time. The Abaddon is moving closer to their group, and so it'll be interesting to see if he can actually pull off a tackle with his slow-moving ship.
Yep, Talwar taking a lot of damage, but catching reps, and it seems like they're actually going for the Abaddon right now. Test is focusing some damage on the Abaddon, which is an odd choice, if you ask me. Got a lot of tank there.
Now Brett Thomas and the Executor are taking damage, so we'll see if that primary switch really helps them out. Oh, the Mollusk takes a big hit there.
It looks like it's split damage at this point. I'm wondering what's going on with the Typhoon, because the Typhoon is currently taking damage, and that's a target that the Abaddon can absolutely apply to. He's currently applying a lot of damage. And the Mollusk is still really, really low as well, and the Talwar right now, so lots of split damage going over the team, and there goes the Talwar.
And there goes the Talwar. Those lasers are able to hit out pretty far for what they do, and so we're seeing that application range is working for them.
That was the Oracle and the Coercer doing work there with the... Oh, boundary... Did we actually get a boundary violation?
Yes, we have a boundary violation from the Mollusk of Red Burly Squirrel. So that's going to be a match over for these teams, and Test is going to take the loss on this one. That Mollusk, it's fast, but you got to watch those boundaries. So that's the end of the match, and we'll head back to the studio.
Oh, boundaries. They'll get you, man. You gotta watch them, and that was turning out to be such a great match as well. We were talking early on in that match about Logi piloting, about exec piloting. Does anybody want to chime in on what it's like being a Logi pilot in the tourney setting? How stressful it is? How difficult it is?
I can. As I'm the Logi pilot for my team.
Am I not surprised you'd have something to say, Starfleet?
It is one of the most stressful jobs, especially when I'm actually trying to tell my team what to do, which doesn't help. But it is probably one of the most stressful jobs in a team. You have to think out everything. You got to think about your positioning with the enemy team and your positioning with your team. Exactly in that match there, that Rifter went straight out, right into the enemy team. I feel like the Executor should have just creeped in a bit just to give him a bit of support, a bit of reps. But it is by far one of the hardest. Flying in the tournament is difficult, but the Logi, one mess up and you could cost the match.
Awesome. So, Madden, tell us a little bit about the Mollusk versus Rifter as frigate choices.
Yeah, so I think one of the interesting things we're seeing is you're seeing a lot of Rifters in this match, which you actually, in EVE, you just don't see a lot of Rifters outside of maybe low second Fact War space. And then you're seeing the Mollusk, which is more expected determinant experience. You always think, all right, Damps are going to be the big killer. But especially because you see these teams, they're getting really close to each other. There's only 5-on-5, so the locks aren't going to make a difference. So basically, you've got everybody locked instantly. So I think really the Mollusk, which is normally like everybody's like, all right, I'm going to have a Mollusk, it's going to make a really big difference. I don't think it's making the difference in the matches. Whereas a well-piloted Rifter with really good tackle seems to be making that really big difference. Here, it didn't help as much because that Rifter got 80, 90 kilometers away from the Executor at the beginning of the match, and it was dead and it didn't matter. But I really think that the Mollusk is kind of overused here, especially, you got no scripts in those Damps. They're just not as effective as they are, in your head at least.
Would anybody want to counterpoint that? Anybody want to stand up for the Mollusk, or is it just not that great?
I think the Mollusk, actually, I like the Mollusk. I think that in this 5v5 format, even without scripts, it can be annoying as hell to fight against. It's still very strong without scripts. I mean, anybody else want to weigh in at all?
I think particularly against an Oracle, time and time again we've seen Oracles die pretty quickly, and anything which forces an Oracle in close and not able to sit back and safely fire at range.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's against Logi that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Oracle hasn't been doing well at all, especially against like a Harbinger, because with a Harbinger you always have the drones, whereas the Oracle doesn't really get any. So that's like been really detrimental for some of these teams.
I think it really depends on how good the Oracle pilot is, because we've seen in that match we saw the Oracle pilot snipe some of the smaller stuff. He did. I think he almost two-shot a Maulus, which is already damaged. So if the Oracle pilot can match transversal, he knows how to do it while not flying into the enemy team. It can be very effective. I think the Harbinger, like similar to I suppose the Megaton Typhoon-ish debate, I think the Harbinger is the safer bet, but the Oracle in the hands of a really good pilot can be better.
Now, I believe it was Ehud. You wanted to talk a little about our comms discipline in tournaments versus on regular tranquility play. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, comms in tournaments is a very different thing than comms in TQ. You know, a lot of time when you're in TQ, it's, you know, shut up, listen to the FC. In tournaments, everybody's got to be talking. And I was remembering that as Starfleet Commander was talking about Logi piloting in tournaments. There's so much communication that has to go on. You can't say just broadcast. When you need reps, you've got to pipe up, you've got to speak, you've got to be, you know, on the ball with your communication, and that's really difficult when you've been, you know, maybe yelled at, maybe slapped around a little bit for your TQ comms discipline. So that's a really good thing to note for these new teams that are coming into the tournament setting, not really knowing how things work. To remember that you guys got to be talking, everybody's got to be talking, and remember that pertinent information is the thing that needs to be said when it's happening.
Okay, well, we do have the teams of our final match. I can't believe we're already end of our 10th game of the day arriving on the field here. Our last match is going to be Team Footwork versus Team Enemies. The commentators are going to be Madden and Starfleet Commander. Guys, tell us about how these two teams have been performing so far today.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about Footwork. So they won their initial fight due to our first boundary violation of the day. So they didn't have the full opportunity to make what I thought was a really interesting match all the way. Definitely a good team, lots of experience. I'm very interested to see these guys as they start to enter the field. I'm very interested to see what we have right now.
Yeah, and Public Enemies. Right, so they actually lost, I believe, to Scrub Squad, I believe. Am I right there? I think they're on the Raven setup, Cy, Ferox, Tower, Maulus, and they're going to be keeping the same trend, which is nice to see. Nice to see something different. But it's nice not to see the Typhoon, right, Madden?
I am so excited for this match. It is not the matches we've seen all day. This is something entirely new in a lot of interesting ways. I'm thrilled.
It can go either way, I think. I think this is going to be great.
I'm kind of worried about the resist profiles on different weapon systems, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, that could be a factor.
Anyway,
we'll have to see how it goes.
Enough bullshitting around. Let's get down to it. We are about to go into the 10th match of the first day of EVE-NT Fight Club. The teams have put on such a fantastic show. So here we go, taking us into the match between Footwork and Enemies.
Madden Ken Rende here to kick off this final match of the day. Big shout out to my alliance, the Scare Room All People, Waboo. We've got a kick on the field here with a somewhat standard comp of the Apocalypse, Harbinger, Exir. They've got a Griffin, they've got an APOC. It's not consistently seen. I think it's an interesting fit. You've got a lot of DPS coming out of that Algos. How they're going to apply the DPS from the APOC, that's a really big question. I'll leave it to Starfleet to introduce the other guys.
So, Public Enemies bringing It's something we haven't seen before. Rock, for starters, and Ferox, and the Scythe, and Morlus, and our Cormorants. The Cormorants going to be a bit of a harassment for the smaller stuff on the other team. But a countdown in local, with 8 seconds to go. I mean, Madden, how do you think this is going to play out at the start?
You know, I have no idea, and I am thrilled.
I am really interested to see what the Apoc's going to do. I feel like he's going to try and kill something, the Cormorant, at the start. I mean, bearing in mind that the Apoc and the Harbinger can really hurt the Scythe. It's slow. It hasn't got a great tank, and they can project down.
No
pretty
self-rep.
far.
I stand behind. No self-rep. That Scythe's going to go down before people expect it, as they set the primary off the Cormorant.
The Cormorant, yeah, that's exactly what I'd do if I was in their position, trying to get that Cormorant out. He's not moving, but the Griffin taking a lot of damage. I mean, but the Cormorant, oh, this is going to be so interesting. I'm so excited.
They're going to be able to land reps on that Griffin. I hope he had him pre-locked, because he's going half armor already.
This good projection in these two teams, but they need to get the Rock in. That Rock needs to move up, I think.
I know, but they have if you've got a Rook, you got to use it. I don't know what they're thinking over there with that Rock.
They need to get it in, but they're trying to look. That Cormorant is bouncing up and down. He's getting closer, though. I don't know what he's doing. He's getting closer.
He's dead. He's dead.
He's down.
He's
First blood. First blood.
That Griffin is playing a little bit, but he's got, the thing is, they got the rep bots. It's rep bots versus no rep bots. We've seen this all day. It never works well.
The Griffin he's being perma-wrecked by the big Skira, but now the next target is the Algos. He's far away. I think they need to try something, but he's still taking damage.
I wish they'd go after the Execure, but alright, maybe they can take out this Algos. Oh wow, look at that.
He's taking damage and he's getting refs now. The
Execure I was just delaying refs armor.
Meanwhile, the Footwork team is trying to tear through the Ferox. Do you think that's a good primary call? I don't know.
That's a terrible primary call.
I think they should go after the Scythe. The Rock is... Yeah. They're doing a great job. And actually, the Rock staying out in front, being the big bad boy, but that Griffin has got to be careful with his transversal. He's going to get picked off.
Oh, I hope that Griffin dies, even if this matchup a little bit.
And also, just a quick note, look at the ranges of the Scythe and the Maulus. They're getting terribly close to the arena, but as that Griffin gets popped as well.
Oh, Scythe 112. Oh, he's going to play with it. I like this too. I really don't understand why you shoot a rail Ferox. It's not doing a ton of damage. It's really hard to kill because it's a Ferox. And now they switched this to the Maulus.
As you say that, the Algos dies just as you say that, but now they're switching on to the Execura. The Rock needs to get on top, get closer or something. That Maulus is he's getting repped up to full. And yes, the Apocs now need to start.
Okay, Maulus is at 126, he's out. Maulus just left the arena. Maulus just left the arena. What are you doing, Dope Stars? What are you doing? Come on, man.
So we got a Banjo Valet, and the Footwork team will take this away.
We can't have a full match over here.
Come on, guys. I was so excited for this match, man. I think that this could have gone either way. But with that, I think we'll have to send it back to Epophany at the desk.
My heart is broken. That was such a cool match. It was shaping up so well, and then we had the boundary violate. Guys, stay inside the arena. Even if it means you lose your ship, you keep your whole team, the rest of your team there at least. Come on, I mean, guys, do you agree? Was that like a really cool match, or am I wrong there?
I thought it was brilliant. They were winning. They were winning.
They absolutely had it, and they just ran. The Maulus wasn't even getting shot when he ran out of the arena. What is he doing?
Oh, sad boys, sad face. Oh, I'm so disappointed, and I wanted the Shield team to win once in this whole thing.
They really, I was starting to believe maybe the Scythe could do it, and then Dope Stars is not dope and just stars himself right out of the arena.
Sad face, sad face. Surprisingly, I just want to point this out quickly that no one actually brought Tempest. Out of interest.
What do we think of the rail rope? Tell me about the rail rope, guys.
Can I just butt in? Sorry, just rudely shove myself in there, having stayed
quiet
all day. The reason that we have to make the team's boundary, it will lose the match if they boundary. Just to clarify, that is because, if a Maulus was allowed to play on, even though he got to 130 kilometers and I gave him a warning or something, he could be damping something at a critical moment in the match. A Typhoon that maybe he was just on the edge of getting a volley in to kill a cruiser. So we have to, unfortunately, just void the match if a ship boundaries. It's not nice. I think that's three matches we've had boundary now. Hopefully soon TM Maybe we can get some tools off CCP one day. Pretty please. In order to give us the normal sphere that happens in the Alliance tournament matches, which any ship that crosses that sphere automatically explodes, so the match can play on, and the team is just down one pilot. So I just wanted to clarify exactly why these matches keep entering boundaries. It's just unfortunate. It's just due to the mechanics we've got. So.
But yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers for the telling us why it is the way it is. So guys, tell me about the Railroad. What would make someone choose a Railroad? Is it badass? Is it awful? Is it somewhere in between?
I was a bit doubtful of it, and then I saw the guy in the rope start sniping the Maulus and the Algos, I think, when their transverse was quite low to him. So it actually ended up working. He was the one who killed the Algos and the Maulus.
Yeah, he can hit them hard. Yeah,
because this entire a lot of the teams have been playing for at least this is their second match at least, maybe their third. I'm not 100% sure. And they're all comfortable. Everyone's been running battleships like Typhoons, but you don't worry about transversal because they use missiles. If it's an Abaddon, it can't hit you at 70k, and then this guy brings a Rogue, and I don't know, the Maulus thinks he's safe because he's 70k away from it, and he gets headshot.
I'm so disappointed. I can't believe it, Epiphany.
Despite the tease that was that final match, I have to say we've had some pretty freaking awesome matches today. We've had 10 matches. I don't think there's been a single one where I've been bored or this is given. Like all of them were like solid slugfest. Some of them were over more quickly than others, but they were all really exciting. All the teams did really, really well. I could not be happier with the day.
Yeah, well, some were just too good for the stream. One of them was just too amazing for people to watch. So stream decided to take it down.
Match and that quality casting, it was just couldn't take it.
The amount of commentary experience is too damn high in that stream.
Yeah, still. Nash, would you like to rejoin the team and play us out?
Certainly, yes. I'll do all the boring bits. Really, really good job there, guys. I'm really, really impressed. We had such good commentating tonight. Excellent hosting from yourself as well, Apoth. I will go down real quick and give everybody a quick shout out. Obviously, producing for you tonight was Bay RJ in the background, smashing all the teams out of the station to get on grid as quickly as possible. We had Epiphany as the wonderful host. For the commentating and analyst team, we had Hoodie Mafia, Starfleet Commander, Ehud Gera, Madden, Suleiman Shower, Chocolate Rain, and we had some last minute help there as well from indeed Biohazard, who came and does the stream for us. Really, really good save. And obviously, Rain, who stepped in at the last moment, helped us out, kept the score, and has been an absolute wonderful assistant and also a great commentator. I think we found a new hobby there for you. And obviously, last but not least, also a late arrival, and again, somebody that's been absolutely imperative in the success of this evening was Elise, who helped us clean up the arena after every match. So thank you very much. Who have I missed? Suetonia, sorry, buddy. Obviously, Suetonia's helped out and is working very hard on the spreadsheet here in the background, keeping score and doing stats. I am sure that you will see a wonderful write-up on Event Media in the next couple of days. Last couple of things I wanted to shout out for is we obviously have the live event that we do coming up as well, which is at the end of February. So if you're nearby or want to be nearby, you want to come to one of the best EVE live events, make sure that you have a look on our website as well. We still have about 60 tickets left, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be spread over 2 days. We're going to do a pub crawl on the Friday night, followed by the full day event on the Saturday. And we already have confirmation of 2 CCP devs coming that will also do some talks. So we have CCP Lebowski and CCP Masterplan attending for sure, with a couple more pending. So as soon as we have more details on that, I will share. Other than that, if you've enjoyed tonight and you want to show your support, make sure you click favorite on the channel here. The channel will always be free. Make sure that you click us a little favorite. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click that like button and the share button if you feel generous. That would be amazing. Obviously, comments are always very welcome. So if you feel like leaving some comments, leave them on the YouTube video or leave them on the article that will be coming out in the next couple of days. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again very soon.